Yo, I'm Jamie.
This is Reba.
And we are Code Orange, and you are watching MoreCore.
Hi Leute, ich bin's Linn für MoreCore TV hier in Berlin und mit mir sind Jami und Reba von Code Orange. Hey guys, how you doing?
How you doing, man?
Good.
I'm good. So, I heard your flights took a bit early off.
Yeah, we were in London yesterday, and we were like doing stuff all day, and then we left today at like 4:30. So
Yeah.
it's all good though.
Oh, you're fit as in the possibilities of the situation. You are fit, you would say.
Yeah, we're used to it.
We're good. We're ready to go.
All right. So you just released your first single, the title track of your new upcoming album, Underneath, at the 10th of this month, I think. Yeah, you know. And so did you get any feedback or I don't know any messages from friends, from fans, from colleagues? And how was the reception of it?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, it's definitely different for us, and people haven't seen the whole picture yet. So I think I get there's obviously some people who are saying this and that, but we don't really give a shit, so it's all good. But
we put it forward how we wanted to, and I think we're proud of that. So
Okay.
and people seem to be reacting to the song. It's like definitely doing better than any song we've ever done to this point. So that's cool.
Okay, cool. So like we're seeing, we didn't see the whole picture yet. We just saw the first video, the first pictures, the first sounds. And something that was specifically for me very obviously, you are working with a lot of symbolic and pictures to get a message through, but don't be quite forward. Very shady and stuff. Is there something you say that's important for our whole image or whole picture of a band?
Yeah, I think like the first video and stuff we did is part of an overarching the visual element to the record that's going to continue to unfold, you know. And I think song-wise, the song is it's definitely different for us, but it definitely displays the concept of like duality, which I think is a big lyrical and musical and thematic element that goes deep on the record. So it honestly makes a lot of sense that it's almost like it's not quite like a misdirection, I guess, but in some ways it is, because people are not really going to know what to expect. But yeah, I think visually it's starting to tell a story that we'll continue to tell, you know.
Like I said, that's very we don't see the whole picture, and people are already commenting like on YouTube and crafting their conspiracies like this about the video, about the symbolic, about the message. And one thing I found in the comment section, and I really found interesting, in I think the last shots of the video, you see four of you guys, excepting you, walking towards the back line or your stage set. Yeah. And you see someone different on the drum set. A lot of them speculating, oh, no drummer, new drummer. There were some comments, oh, it could be Chris Verena, the guy who took part in the programming and synth and stuff within the production. Is this Chris Verena? Is this a new member of your?
Nah, Chris Verena's retired, man. He's chilling.
All right.
He's teaching and working on records. So no, I don't think he's interested.
So it's just a conspiracy.
We'll see what's up.
All right. No problem.
It's not. It ain't Chris.
It ain't
Verena.
Chris Verena.
Yeah, I'll say.
All right.
That's a fact.
But that'd be tight. But no.
Anyway,
Cool. The whole track is already published, and we can see how much songs, which songs, the name of it, and we see that Underneath is one of the last track on this record, about with a total of 14 tracks. And which place do this track do on the record itself? Has it a specific stand within the whole concept?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, we have all different kinds of songs on the album. That one is more of the like hip hop style, also electronic heavy songs. You know, the song Easy Way is also one of those songs, where we tried to treat the guitars and the band as more of tools in production as opposed to necessarily the root of the song. But that's why we put it out first, I think, is because it was something that we hadn't fleshed out yet in the past with our band. And that's why, it's just one piece of the puzzle. But
thematically, it's definitely the closer for a reason. So I think when people hear the record, it'll totally make sense to them.
All right, cool. So your last record, Forever, was still 2016, I guess. Yeah, what was right?
Yeah,
and,
I think 17. Yeah,
17 years. And with this record, you started implementing more of the electronic synth stuff. Your guitarist Shade had a more focus on the synths, even the live production and stuff. You got your new member, Eric Dom, I think you call him.
Dom. Dom. Yeah. It's all good. Yeah.
And what was the decision to say, okay, we want to introduce electronic elements, but we want to do it by a real person. We have this technology to do it from a record or something. What was the intention for you to say, no, we want to do this with real synths, real analog stuff?
I think on the last record, it just made a lot of sense in terms of our capabilities, and we never played to a click live or anything, and so we kind of by utility had to make it work in that way. So, and I think it lent itself to the sound of it. And going forward, we've definitely changed it up because it's a lot more. I mean, anyone who's heard it, if by this when this comes out or whatever, it's very complicated. So there's like a lot of different elements of obviously real synths, but also all kinds of stuff. So.
Yeah, we had to. I think it was necessary, to get what the goal of this record was, which was to really, sonically make the electronics and the heavy, real Code Orange style of music all blend together in a way that still kept the soul of everything. And to have that, we really needed to focus guitar players working on that aspect and getting their guitar playing style through, while also having, Shade, who was able to completely focus on the sonics and the layering and the fitting everything in its place, and he was able to help with those technical challenges when he moved to focus on that.
Yeah, so I had already the opportunity to listen to your album, and I think the blend is pretty good, and you see not just like two different parts from the side, drums and guitars. It blends together, like you said.
It's definitely more on this record of like a full-scale environment that you're kind of stepping into, and it's almost like a symphony of stuff going on. It's not really like a band with synths, which I think has been done many times, and it's awesome, and I really like it. But for us, we were trying to create something that felt a little bit bigger in scale and more just could have more layers and come at you in a way that other kinds of music that's not metal tends to, sonically, but also hopefully keep the soul of what we love about metal and hard music and guitars and drums and hard vocals. So it needed to be done differently to accomplish that.
Okay.
Yeah.
When I'm looking at the production of the album, you took a big part in the production with, what was his name? Sorry.
Nick Raskin.
Yeah, Nick Raskin, right? Shade did a lot of stuff into the programming and the mixing after it.
Yeah.
And you also had help by Will Ying as a co-producer and stuff. Was this something new for you?
I mean, in some ways, and Reba recorded a lot of stuff on it too, like a lot of her leads herself as well. But yeah, I mean, the way we did this record was we went and made like 15 or 16 full-scale album quality demos that we mixed ourselves and mixed all the weird headphone stuff and did everything like as a really specific blueprint. So we could then, and Will Yip was involved with helping us do that. So then we could bring it to whoever we want to work with and say, this is what we want to create, but we want to beat it. Not try to describe what we want. So we did like a very extreme version of pre-production on our own that took a very long time, to the point where it was like we had already done a record, and then we went and did the record again. So it made sense having a collaborative team, because the kind of record we were trying to make was, again, more like in a way, like not, you know, more like maybe a hip hop record, electronic record, where there's a lot of people involved in making different elements work, but was very just fully spearheaded by us and our vision. And, you know, Nick helped us take it to another level, and Will helped us, and Chris Verena worked with Shade on a lot of the technical aspects of the programming and just teaching him and passing him knowledge and all of us knowledge. So I think working with a team like that was the only way something like this would get done. But the real bulk of it that we did was, you know, us just making these demos that hopefully we'll release sometime, because they're pretty close to what came out.
Yeah, I think the focus we realized was like the energy of the songs is when you have all these elements and all these layers, it can be tricky to keep the energy of, you know, what the original song was. And we were able to get that so well in the demos, and just because it almost was like a lot of the stuff we recorded, we did it super fast and just stacked, but it was all really natural feeling, even though a lot of it was, you know, recorded in Ableton and not necessarily like in the room like we had done in the past, but gave us this like kind of a freedom. So then when we took it to Nick, and we just wanted to make sure that as a band, we still kept a lot of control and charge over those elements, and making sure that, you know, that didn't get lost, like the soul of it.
As everyone should, because if at the end of the day, it's your record, and
of course,
you know, if people like it or don't like it, our records are our records. And the people who work with us I love and always take it to a level it would have never been at. But they should never, you know, it shouldn't be. We've never worked with anyone where they were the ones writing or making the record. I mean, every inch of it is our blood, sweat, and tears. So that's why I think it keeps you more individual, because a lot of producers, they work with a lot of bands, and a lot of bands demand a lot out of them in terms of coming up with stuff, and that's like never something you're ever gonna need from us. So it's not what we want, you know.
We have such, you know, every person in the band has such a strong musical and imaginative and thematic and visual opinion and idea of everything about this record, and we talk about every aspect of that at length daily, constantly. And there's no reason why, you know, we shouldn't try to get as much of that directly into the final product, you know. But to pull that off, you have to really work in communicating with you know, other people who know how to pull that off technically, which is where, you know, Will and Nick and Verena, all those people came into play, and in collaborating with them.
Okay, cool. So maybe taking a step back from the record itself, we just had the Grammys this year, and you were nominated last year for your record Forever, and we see the Grammys are such a big, I say, institution. It's a big thing in the music world for a whole aspect. Is this something you say, okay, that was a milestone for us, even with the third album we did, or just was a tool to say, okay, we bring out our message and it's nothing more?
It's not really, I mean, it's a milestone in a way, but really the goal for that with us is to gain a bigger platform, one for ourselves, but also just for heavy music and young heavy music, period. And our plan was and will be to, you know, speak our minds and get up there and make it count. And it won't just be shaking hands and kissing babies, you know what I mean? Because I mean, because we're in the mix still, you know what I mean? And a lot of times, and it's not their fault at all, these kind of awards are given to bands when they're past that point and they've made like a great career out of it, and it is what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? It's not really gonna, you know, or what I mean. It's what it's gonna be. They've been doing what they're doing, and there's no need for that. But we're very much in the mix, and we're very hungry and you know, really going for everything and everybody. So we just wanted that platform. That's pretty much it, and it was cool that we got a little bit of it, and in the future, I'm sure we'll get more of it. So that's pretty much all that it really meant to us.
I hope so too. Yeah. And while you're talking that using it as a platform, a bit of a controversial theme for your fans, especially, and fans of heavy music, is your participation in Coachella this year. Oh yeah. Like Rage Against the Machine as well and stuff. And is this something you say, this is a platform as well for us? Yeah,
I mean, I wanted to do it because it's like, I don't really see anyone who's doing both sides of the coin the way that we can do. We can do something like that. We can do something like what you're just talking about. We can do metal festivals. We can do hardcore shows. We can do Slipknot.
WWE, whatever.
Yeah, we could do WWE. We could do so. We could we've worked on some hip hop tracks. So we just want to show that we could do it all, and that's pretty much the reason for doing it. And it's just another cool show, And there's artists on there that we really like also. So.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So maybe last question. It's like a question we always ask our interviewers. What's the music you are currently listening to or enjoying the most? Like a recommendation for us, for our fans, and for the viewers.
Records I liked this year were like Clipping, which is a cool hip hop, weird like horror-y movie kind of record that I really liked. JPEG Mafia, Hardwise. Some of the bands were taking on tour. Year of the Knife, who's like a hardcore band that I really like. Jesus Piece were taking on tour.
Great band.
Vane, they're coming up and doing really well.
This new Devourment album, been listening to a lot. It's insane. Guitar wise, they do some of the most like mean sounding raw noises on guitar.
Yeah.
That's been inspiring.
I also don't know how to pronounce, but Anal Nakra.
Yeah, I know.
I like their new record too.
Mm-hmm.
I know they've been around for a long time, but their latest record I thought was really cool, and they've always kind of had some like a little bit of electronic elements and stuff, but I like the grandiose of it. It's almost like it's I don't know. I really like it. It was cool.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you so much for your time today, and have a good flight back home.
Thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Okay. Das war ein Code Orange für euch aus Berlin. Wenn euch das gefallen hat, schaut mal in die Kommentare, sagt uns, was ihr vom neuen Album von Code Orange haltet. Vergesst nicht, uns zu abonnieren und natürlich die Glocke zu läuten. Das war's von uns. Wir sehen uns.